Hello YouTube, all flight sim in the PMDG B738 inbound to Sedona. I'm on a tour. I don't think that normally fly 737s into Sedona due to its length of the runway, but I've got low on fuel and payload's quite low. I'll be landing, coming in max speed brakes, but putting that to aside, the approach charts for Sedona only has an approach for runway 3, and I'll show you that here. There's no charts at all for the approach apart from runway 3, and the wind's coming in at the moment at 200 at 15 knots, so I'm going to go into runway 21. But in order to help me set up for the approach, I've created a waypoint. There's no VOR here, but what I've done is I've used this waypoint close to the runway called LOMB, Lima Oscar Mike Bravo Bravo, right here. And what I've done is I've created a 15 DME circumference, sorry, 15 nautical mile circumference around the airfield at Sedona. And that's just to help me get my distance when I approach the airfield. What I've also done is I've created a waypoint. So our route will come into Flagstaff here, and then I was going to come down to Juso, Exuti, Lyrit and Lom for runway 3, but the wind's changed and it's much safer to come in with those 20 knot winds into runway 21. So I've created that 15 nautical mile ring around the airfield, and I've also created a waypoint from Lomb at a distance of 15 nautical miles, which will probably bring me in for a 12 nautical mile approach into Sedona. And I created that on a bearing of 033 degrees from the waypoint Lom. And that's how what I did is I went to the legs page and then I entered Lima Oscar Mike Bravo Bravo on a bearing of 033 from the airfield, distance 15. And as soon as I enter that here, it inserts the waypoint LOM01, and that's what we can see here. If I go to the plan, if I step through, that's the, to zoom out a bit, that's that waypoint it created, bearing of 033 degrees, 15 nautical miles out of the airport. But that 15 nautical miles is from the waypoint LOM, not the airfield. So what we could do, just to show you how to do that, we could create a waypoint, say 18 nautical miles out, and then insert that here, before, and then that should give us a waypoint here. That's 18 nautical miles out. If I click accept, my route now will go from Flagstaff to the waypoint of 18 nautical miles out from the LOM waypoint. Just making use of that approach into Sedona, just over Flagstaff. So just under 9,000 feet now, and heading up to the first waypoint, which was 18 nautical miles from the Lomb waypoint. So the next waypoint we're heading to is the first one, which is distance of 18 nautical miles. From there we turn on to the 15 nautical miles from Lomb approach. So the green ring is the 15 nautical mile ring around the airfield, just to help give us a more situation awareness. I hopefully get a visual on the runway soon. About 17 nautical miles out now. I've got to stop at 8,000 feet. Local QNH is 29901. So about 17 nautical miles to go. Can stay at 8,000, quite low. So Flagstaff just to the right hand side. Admittedly, you wouldn't take a Boeing 737 into Sedona, but this is a tour I'm doing with a virtual airline. So Sedona traffic, Comair 933 November is 10 nautical miles final visual, runway 21, Sedona. Yeah, got gears down 3 greens, flaps of 40, auto brakes set max, and ready for the tailwind. Got all the lights on. Continuous. Okay, just going to turn the autopilot systems off. Get rid of auto throttle. Just drop between this valley here. It's not a little bit too high, but I don't want to drop too high from that ridge just ahead of us. I'll just follow this ridge down here and then turn onto final. 90 checks are complete. Bit of wind coming off the edge there. I'll have to ignore those terrain warnings. You can see this ridge coming up ahead.
Terrain, pull up. Caution, terrain. Terrain, pull up. Terrain, pull up.
Just hand flying this now.
Terrain, pull up. Terrain, pull up. Terrain, pull up. Terrain, pull up.
So now start to turn towards the final, about 4-mile final. And we have another ridge. The airport's on a ridge, so I just have to make sure I don't get too low there. And hopefully I can stop in time at the end of the runway. So what I don't want to do is float, so a bit high. See the white, one red. Bit high again according to the altitude indicator. I'm too low for the approach, but visually I'm not, so just trusting visual. So that speed's not getting too low. And I just have to crop the tops of these trees to make sure I don't. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a drop at the end of the runway, which I wasn't expecting. Just quite annoying, but I don't know if that's realistic. But this is default scenery, by the way. But
400, 300, 200. 100. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink airspeed low. Airspeed low. 10.
there. Got down, I can go right to the end and just get rid of those auto brakes. To do. Got a bit low on the speed on the approach there, but did rectify it quickly. Sedona traffic, Comma 933 November's vacated runway 21, taxi to the ramp, Sedona. Just clear up the aircrafts. So it's going that straight line, I'll turn the lights off and stuff. Well, that's quite a challenging approach, and certainly in a Boeing 737-800, and a short method on how I create waypoints into the runway when there's no approach. And so let's just turn these off, and our taxis are on. I can get the APU on. Flight directors can come off. After landing checks, the flaps are going up. Landing lights are strobe are off. Just take that next left. Landing checks complete. Don't think the landing rate was too bad. We get marked down now, and for certain virtual airlines, if the landing rate's too high. So I was actually here a couple of weeks ago, just flying with the Gatwick Flight Simulation Group. At that time, I think I was bringing in a Cessna Caravan or a Comanche, I can't remember, but didn't think I'd be back here that soon actually. But it's very nice scenery. This is default Orbex global scenery. I don't have the Orbex payware for the airport. Okay, it's coming up to the stand. I can turn off the taxis now. APU is ready. Okay, go back, sat, and let's get the APU. Oops, APU's on. We can turn the engines off. Well, hope you enjoyed that approach into Sedona. It was more about how to create waypoints into airfields that don't have an approach, like this particular one in Sedona with the winds. There's no approach for runway 21. So I hope that was useful. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye. This is all Flight Sim.